Hey guys, JawsTheSharkReviews here, and today we'll be doing a little bit of a different review for today, and that is we'll be taking a look at the 2008 McDonald's Happy Meal set of 6 of Transformers animated characters. So, now I did review 3 of these figures, namely Optimus, Megatron, and Starscream, way back in early 2017. We're talking like my channel in its infancy. But here's the thing. Even though I treat like they're reviews, they weren't actually reviews. It was just me like kind of showcasing them off. Like I was showing the alt mode or robot mode. I forgot what I did. And I didn't talk in them. I just had like quick like little videos that are less than a minute long of me just showing them, and then I had royalty free music playing in the background. And yeah, for a long time I've been just like, okay, yeah, no, those are just poor excuses of reviews. It's like, what were those? Yeah, but I figured, I'll just wait to review those again until I get the whole set. And in the year since, I've gone, all 6 of them. I got Prime, Megatron, and Starscream in early 2017. Lugnut came along around the spring of 2018, I think. And then last summer I got Bumblebee and Ratchet at a store in Pennsylvania, so now I got the whole set so that we can review them. Also, if you guys are wondering, wait a minute, what happened with the background? What happened with the usual white background? Well, I decided, for the sake of nostalgia and, just to go back to the original setup of my reviews, the way I used to do it. And, right here by this coffee table, that's where it all began, but I'm still using the same phone and everything to record, not like the old tablet I used. But just kind of give off that similar sort of vibe. But this time it's an actual review, and so why not? Let's get started. So yeah, anyways, back to the figures themselves. Yeah, these were released in 2008 as Happy Meal toys to promote the Transformers animated series. And I believe these were like the last kids meal Transformer figures to actually transform, at least into something proper, and not like in Dark of the Moon, where they had like the bodies flip into the heads, and then they're just heads. But yeah, I've always been a fan of like how these were made, despite them being just Happy Meal toys. So yeah, so are these the last great Happy Meal toys for Transformers? Well, we'll find out right now. So let's start off with Optimus Prime. Alright, so here we have Optimus Prime in this truck mode. And yeah, pretty nice, I'd say. I mean, there's no paint for the wheels, there's the same plastic blue, but honestly not too bad. Of course, his fists are hanging out here in the back, but overall though, this is a pretty clean cab. I mean, really nicely built. It looks pretty accurate too to the cartoon. Of course, some scratches and kind of dirty marks. Those were there when I first got this guy. That must have been from the previous owners, so yeah, really nice. And he's got little wheels here on the bottom, so you can roll them around. Of course, since this is a carpet, it's kind of hard to show it off. Again, I'm only having this background just to kind of tie in with, revisiting these figures, so yeah. Yeah, let's get a closer look. And yeah, I mean, basically what we saw before, pretty simple. But yeah, so anyways, for transformation, you just want to flip down the legs right here. There's like this molded tab that kind of clicks into place right there, so that will sort of lock it in. And then next, bring forward the feet, and then I'll pop into place. Then after that, just swing around these back panels, and then flip down the lower arms. And finally, you just want to flip out the head. And there you guys have Prime in his robot mode. It's not too bad looking. I mean, again, for a Happy Meal, this is honestly really nice. Yeah, let's get a close-up look here at the head sculpt. Yeah, it's very dirty again. That's just how it was when I got it. But, yeah, I mean, he's still got, you know, the chin and everything. Everything we know from animated Optimus Prime. He's got, like, dark little slivers for eyes, unfortunately. But, yeah, he's got the iconic lips. And yeah, now for the chest. Again, we saw this before. Now, what's cool is that in the arms, despite, you know, it being all hollow right here, they did still manage to mold in Autobot logos. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, but as we saw in truck mode, not a lot of paint. Now the back here, it's all hollow because that's where the head is. I mean, yeah, like the sculpt of the head is actually really nice. I mean, you know, they even painted the neck, and yeah, it really does look like animated Prime. On the back here, it's got this copyright 2008 Hasbro. So yeah, articulation wise, head doesn't move. I guess you could like just untab this here and then you can look up, but yeah. The arms are probably the only real articulation you get, although even then it's due to transformation. So you kind of get in and out movements here at the shoulders, and then I guess this is the even more true kind of articulation. It's the bend at the elbow, but then again, that has to do that for transformation. So yeah. Waist doesn't move, but then again, like with the head, you can just untab this and kind of have him do that. I don't know why he'd do that, but okay. And as for feet, they don't move again except for this, but that's especially just for transformation. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Optimus Prime. So yeet. So now on to Megatron. So here he is. Now Prime was the third one I got. This Megatron here was the second. And yeah, I gotta say, I was quite excited to get him in the mail. I remember, like, I was only like what 9-10 years old. So anything I got in the mail, I was super excited for. Nowadays, it's just kind of like okay, but yeah, let's take a close-up look. Unfortunately, I think out of all these animated Happy Meal toys that we got here, Megatron got the short end of the stick, because yeah, it's just a full-down robot. I mean, from the top, even then, it doesn't look good, but from the bottom especially, I mean, there's not really a place where it looks fine except for maybe the front. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look at the front cockpit section right there. Looks nice, but you know, it would have been cool if they painted in like red for the windows, just like how they were on the cartoon. But oh well. I do like you know, he's got his rotor blades, so that's really nice. But yeah, it's a bit. It's actually very clunky looking. You know, you got the feet here sticking out the back, and yeah, I don't know. But that's pretty much it there for the helicopter mode. So let's go ahead and transform him. So first, just flip up the feet, and then next straighten out the arms like this. And then you're going to flip down at least one of the rotor blades. So now both are together, and do the same thing here. And then next after that, just flip down the cockpit section. That should go all the way to there. And finally, swivel around the head. And there you have him in his robot mode, which I will say looks 10 times better than the alt mode. Unfortunately, this guy can't really stand thanks to this back here. It kind of gets him a little off balance, at least like in this direction. Like when I have him here, I guess he's fine, but he's always kind of lean back that way. But yeah, there he is. So yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at the head sculpt. Really nice. Definitely, you know, does look like Megatron. I suppose a darker gray would look a bit better because, you know, his gray wasn't this light on the show, but it's not too bad. And it's got a Decepticon logo right there. Not painted in, but that's fine. At least they bother to include it. And yeah, you do got some paint scuffs right here, but you know, just like with Prime, and pretty much that's with all these figures. If you see something weird with that wasn't me. That was like that when I first got them in the mail. But yeah, it's at least it's not too noticeable. I mean, with Prime, actually with Prime it wasn't too noticeable. With Megatron it is a little bit, especially around the knees, but it's not the end of the world. I could always just finally paint that up. I don't know. And you do have red here for the toes, so I guess it kind of breaks up color a little bit. And for the back, it's mostly clean except for this right here. I suppose if you want to, you could just flip that up, and yeah, there's that. But now he's like one of the cone heads. But anyways, articulation-wise, head does swivel, arms can move in and out, and the toes can also move up and down. That's pretty much it. Aside from that, he's just one big brick. Alright, so, woo. I'm sure absolutely no one knows who this character is, but, so yeah, in case you don't, this little-known character right here is called Bumblebee, and yeah, he's surprisingly one of the main characters on Transformers Animated. Oh my god. But yeah, here's Bumblebee right here. And yeah, I forgot if it was him or Rasha. I forgot if I got them at the same time or if I got one before the other, but I think I got them both at the same time. But yeah, these I got the most recent. I think it might have been last summer. I went to Erie, Pennsylvania, went to a collectibles store, and they had like this sort of bargain bin with some of the smaller Transformer figures, mostly like the Happy Meal ones. And amongst them, they had the Transformers animated ones, like even the ones I already have. Like I think they had Starscream and Optimus and maybe Lugnut. But yeah, they also have these two, so I can finally, complete the, I guess the sextet. So yeah, here's B. And mold-wise, he looks pretty nice. I mean, even for paint, it's not too bad, but, it's just the black paint. Unfortunately, there's a bit of paint scuffing wrap here. I think that was just all black originally. Although on the show, it's red because that is his flasher. So yeah, he's got the signature one stripe thing they had on the show. On the bottom, mostly clean. You can see where the wheels are. And the back, the only ugly part, his head's sticking out back there. But yeah, overall, though, looks pretty nice. Oh, at first I thought there was like a crack in the plastic, but no, that's just like a paint smear almost. And yeah, that's pretty much it there for that. So yeah, you got the actual wheels, and you got the faux wheels right here. Unfortunately, the paint's smearing off of this. But yeah, you can roll decently and probably better on a harder surface. But yeah, and then there's an about logo right here, just in case I missed that. We'll still see in robot mode, so yeah. And speaking of robot mode, let's transform him right now. So yeah, starting off, you just want to extend the arms, or so the shoulders, and I can see where the arms are. Then next, flip down the front section of the car, and then swivel around the waist right here. And finally, just bring up the head, and there you have Bumblebee in his robot mode. And yeah. So you guys know how I said that Megatron had the weakest alt mode out of these six? Well, Bumblebee's definitely got the weakest robot mode of the six, because yeah. Although, to be honest, I'd rather look at this than Megatron's alt mode, because, I mean, that's even uglier, but this, yeah, no, proportionally, it just does not look good. But, let's take a close-up look right here. So we got the head. It's fine, it's just a little too narrow for this, design. Especially, like, right down here. He's almost got, like, I don't know. He's almost like the, he's almost like a Chad, pretty much, like in those Chad memes. He's got this huge chin. And not like the animated style. Like, I mean, it's a narrow head with like a very white top. It just looks odd, but paint-wise, I guess it looks nice. I mean, I know in the show he had black outlining, but that's not too bad. And then for the rest of this, it's not as odd looking, but at the same time it is. Well, the arms are pretty flat, but I guess I can see why they're like that. I do appreciate, though, that they even painted the inside and molded in the fists, but it's just, I don't know. And you got the legs right here. The thighs are pretty small. Then you got really huge lower legs, but yeah, and here's the back. Yeah, it's pretty clean. It's a little hollow down here, but oh well. And yeah, that's pretty much it there for B. So, buzz. You scream, I scream, we all scream for Starscream. I think I got that from Tia Flicky. I forgot where I heard that. But anyways, so yeah, here's Starscream. Now this is the very first one that I got back in January of 2017. Seems like an eternity ago, and in a way it was. 7.5 years ago. Jesus Christ. But yeah, here he is. And yeah, this unlike the rest of them, I guess, this one's still in clean, nice condition in terms of paint and stuff. And yeah, I remember the day I got this. It was like, again, it was like in early January, and it was like snowing outside. It was really cold, so when I brought this guy in like the package, it was like ice cold almost. But yeah, I was quite pleased to get this guy. And yeah, so anyways, let's take a look at him right here. Very nice. Only issue is that, his arms are sticking out, and also his head. At least his head can turn away, but, his arms are still like that. It doesn't look really anything like how his jet did on the show. I mean, you got the same kind of cockpit and everything, but it should be down here, and the wings are a bit inverted. I forgot if they were like that. I thought they were the other way, but no, they weren't. Yeah, no, they weren't inverted like this. I mean, it's cool design, but that's definitely not how he was on the show. But as a jet, it's okay. I mean, it's more coherent than the Megatron helicopter mode, but it just, probably the second weakest alt mode out of the 6. Here's the bottom, and he does have some wheels right here, so you can kind of roll them up and then take off. Alright, so for transformation, you just want to flip up the feet. Now, for some reason, mine has like this issue. It's always had this where it's not quite parallel here. I mean, like this only goes down to here, while this goes down even further. I don't know why that is. But yeah, I just want to flip up the feet, and even then, it's still all inconsistent. And split the legs in half. Then flip back the tail fins, and then twist around the head, and there you guys have Starscream, and it was a robot mode. The main reason I got this guy, because I really dug it. I mean, it looked a lot like Starscream, and honestly, I mean, now looking back, maybe not as much, because, like, he's not got all quite the paint stuff, but, I mean, he looked pretty nice, even for a Happy Meal, so, I mean, I'm like, you know what, I'll get this, and 9-10-year-old me was pretty pleased with it, so yeah, really nice. So anyways, let's take a look at the head sculpts. Really nice, definitely that's how he looked on the show. And it's funny how his mouth is all the way up here, or practically his whole face. I mean, it's just all up here, and then the chin's pretty much more than half of it. That's so funny. And yeah, I really like how his chest looks. And you got Decepticon logos here in the wings, and the even painted in red stripes. Yeah, it just looks really cool. And here's the back. Unfortunately, like Megatron, it's not clean. You got all this garbage right here on the back, but for Happy Meal toy, it's not too bad. So articulation, head does move side to side, shoulders can swivel full 180, and legs can go in and out, and also the toes can move up and down, and that's it. So that's it for Screamer. Yippee. And now on to grumpy old Ratchet. Sorry about that, Ratchet. Don't worry, I support you over lockdown. But anyways, so here he is in alt mode. I'd say it looks pretty nice. Only complaints are it does lack a bit of paint. I think with this guy, they definitely, you can definitely see the budget showing for this one in terms of paint. Because the other ones, they painted mostly nice. I mean, at least, except for Bumblebee, probably. Yeah, so here he is. Alt mode looks nice, at least from the sides. And why isn't this focusing? There we go. You do have blue paint here for the windshield. It's a little bit dirty, I mean, this whole thing. And the bottom, you can tell that's just his robot just full up right there. But I do like the designs wherever they are, like right here. Yeah, like that sort of pulse. And yeah, unfortunately there's like this big gap right here, but that's because, this flips forward. And yeah, so it looks all nice, and it looks all cute until you see the back. Yeah. Unfortunately, like Bumblebee, his head sticks out in the back, but at least with Bumblebee, it kind of more blended in, and it was upside down. here, it just flat out sticks out. I mean, like, even though I was, like, kind of turning this guy around, like, I just kept trying not to show that, because, I mean, it was that sticking out. I mean, it just looks like one of those dogs that just stick their head out the window. Especially with that grumpy chin. You can see the whole thing right here. It's funny. I mean, just imagine being on the road and you just see this thing staring at you. Man, that just be very strange at the least. But yeah. So, but aside from this and the gap and the lack of paint, it's pretty cool design, I'd say. So yeah, and of course with those big wheels, you can get tons of rolling going on. So yeah, let's transform it, shall we? So starting off, you just want to flip down the legs here. Well, actually, you can't do it quite all the way until you move out the arms, so let's do that. This transformation is pretty similar to Bumblebee's. I mean, they basically just kind of took the Bumblebee design and kind of changed it around a little bit, or maybe vice versa. Yeah. And the arms are not too difficult to get out. I mean, I guess it depends on your copy. If it's too tight, just be careful, but luckily mine's not too tight. So then you have to actually bring out the arms, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And yeah, then you can flip back the legs all the way, and finally flip up the head. And there you go. There you guys have Ratchet in his robot mode, and fortunately, he can't really stand up that good. Yeah. Now, I'd say his robot design's better than Bumblebee's, but it's definitely like the second weakest. Because, yeah. Now, he does have some nice guns right there, as you guys probably already saw. I feel like they inspired this Ratchet figures design off of them, those Rock'em Sock'em robots or whatever. Because, I mean, it looks exactly like them, especially with, you know, like the fists and stuff. I think that's sort of what they were going for, but man, is he jacked. But yeah, let's take a close-up look at Ratchet. I mean, yeah, the head sculpt's basically perfect. I mean, that's, you know, that is how he appear on the show. It could use a little more paint, of course, but it's still, sculpting-wise, pretty nice. And, you know, he got his red here for the arms. I mean, he's literally got muscles right there. He ain't no Cybertronian, but, at least maybe, I don't know. He might just be a human in disguise, sort of. Get the joke. Yeah, it wasn't funny. But anyways, yeah, you got the chest right here, you got the insignia, and you got the windshield right there. At least the fake windshield, the real one's right here. And yeah, you get some white paint too here for the thighs. And yeah. So there's that. He's got this huge like block right back here, but yeah, this one's alright. Articulation, head can move up, and that's it. Arms can move around, but really the only position you really should have him in is this, because otherwise this, yeah, no, that doesn't look too good. I mean, the shoulders are like down here to almost his hips, so you have to keep him at least up here in order to make it look somewhat decent. Nothing for the waist, and the knees do bend in an odd way, but yeah, not one of my favorites. I mean, I like the alt mode, just the robot mode, not really. Alright, I'll take better care of the old man. I'm not going to throw him around. Otherwise, it's elderly abuse. And last but not least, here we have the lug nut. And I have to admit, this is probably one of my favorite ones. Because, I mean, not only does it look good in both alt mode and robot mode, but, I mean, it's a lug nut figure. I mean, it's just really nice. So yeah, let's take a look at the alt mode here. So you can see it's a big old bomber. I mean, realistically, it should be a lot bigger than the rest of the vehicles, but you know, it has to fit inside a Happy Meal, so. But yeah, really nice. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of paint overall, but I mean, where there is, it does pop. I mean, you got a nice golden paint here for the Decepticon logo. It's chipping like a little bit, but not too bad. And again, that's how it was when I got it. And you got some yellow stripes here for this kind of almost greenish plastic. So that's nice. And yeah, I mean, that purple is just good enough. I mean, you don't really need too much paint to that. And I like that also sort of greenish silver that they got here for the paint. And yeah, it's really nice and clean looking. So yeah, let's get right down to the transformations. So starting off, you just want to flip around this back section right here, and now he's got this kind of weird leg looking thing, but yeah. Then next, just bring down the chest all the way like that, and then move down the bomber pieces, and those will basically become his arms. They were kind of like his hands on the show, but in this case, there's the whole arm. So yeah, there you guys have Lugnut in his robot mode, and you know it doesn't look exactly like Lugnut really at all. I mean, well, it does, but at the same time, it looks like almost a prototype. But I don't know. I kind of dig this guy. I mean, you know, it's if this were his design in the show, it'd still be believable. Like if Ratchet or Bumblebee's design, like from the Happy Meal toys, made onto the screen, that would not be believable at all. That just look ugly. But this I could see, you know, being like almost a slimmer bod and stuff. The only thing I couldn't see with the design is probably this, but you know, but the rest of it though, I mean, I could see it being on screen, so I think it works as is. But yeah, let's take a look at the head sculpt and details. Really nice head sculpt, definitely is Lugnut. I'm glad to see that McDonald's gave Lugnut some love. I mean, you know, the other 5 are a bit more well-known, especially, well, maybe Ratchet not as much, but I mean, everyone kind of knows who he is if they're starting to get in Transformers, but Lugnut's one that you have to kind of dig around a little bit. So outside of Ant-Man, I'm not sure if Lugnut's been represented that well. I mean, well, there was, Strika, I think was her name, in Cyberverse that reused Lugnut's design, although, you know, because the character is a female, you know, they gave lipstick and stuff to kind of differentiate it, but definitely the design was based off of Lugnut right here. And yeah, but yeah, here's the rest of the details. Unfortunately, paint's a little scuffed there. Here's the back. A little odd right here, but yeah. Articulation, nothing for the head. You do have arm movement right here at the elbows, and nothing at the waist. The knees do bend, so you can kneel and pray that Megatron won't rip into pieces. Well, that's probably more Starscream, but yeah. And that's pretty much it for articulation. So not a lot, but you know, it's fine. This one I can pass. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for big ol' Lugnut. Sorry, Lugnut. But yeah, really do dig this figure. And there you guys have my review, or reviews rather, for the 2008 McDonald's Happy Meal set of 6 of Transformers anime characters. And I gotta say, this is probably the last time we actually got genuinely decent Transformers Happy Meal toys. Because, I mean, the ones they did in years since, even continuing today in 2024, have been alright. They just never have been able to actually, you know, do what Transformers is marketed to do, you know, transform into a vehicle or beast or whatever. Because in the years since then, we just got ones like where they just are in a still pose and you fire missiles or whatever. It's like, okay, that's fun and all, but they're Transformers. We want to have, you know, figures of robots transforming into vehicles or beasts or whatever, and vice versa. Not, you know, like a Bumblebee mask or something, or I don't know. I mean, the little ones would probably eat it up, but, you know, it just, I mean, even when I was little, I was quite disappointed that I had, you know, Happy Meal Transformers that couldn't transform. So when I discovered that there was a time where there was, you know, they did transform, that's why I knew. I'm like, okay, let me go on eBay and just get these guys. And yeah, overall I'd say really nice. Some modes and stuff, you know, are pretty weak, like Ratchet and Bumblebee's robot modes, and then as for alt modes, probably Starscream and Megatron's, especially Megatron's, are pretty weak. But and articulation's mid, but you know, it's still nice to see that they did include some, even though, you know, these are Happy Meal toys. And yeah, just overall, I think this is a nice set. If you could find it, get it, sure. I mean, yeah, if you like animated and stuff, and if you want decent quality Happy Meal toys, then this is what you should get. So yeah, this is a nice little revisit, you know, kind of trip down memory lane, you know, not only with these figures, but even the setup. And no, I'm not permanently going back to the setup. I'll keep doing the white background stuff for those that enjoyed this set a bit more. Sorry, but my personal preference. But just for this review, just to kind of, I don't know. But yeah, so anyways guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of these figures. So anyways guys, as always, till all are one.